Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to our mindfulness practice. It's 2025, so we're starting a new series. What I like to do occasionally is go back to the basics of mindfulness practice and talk about, well, what are some of the benefits? What is mindfulness, first of all? Because as mindfulness was really a fashionable thing maybe 5 to 10 years ago, it really lost a lot of its core meaning. And not that I subscribe to Joe Rogan's podcast or anything, but I do recall Joe Rogan once talking about how the words wellness and mindfulness were just kind of like abrasive for him to hear these words because, well, one of the reasons because he's heard them so many times. And I think that what's frustrating for me as a teacher, as a mindfulness teacher, to hear that is just to know that this brand name of mindfulness has been watered down a lot because of its trendiness and all of the different things that have followed along that brand name that aren't in fact what mindfulness is about. So really that's one of the things that I want to make clear is what is mindfulness, what is not mindfulness. Mindfulness and meditation are not the same thing. Meditation and meditation also. It's a very broad kind of term that encompasses all kinds of things, and you don't have to look very far, because if you just search around on Insight Timer, listen to a few meditation recordings, attend a few live events, and you'll see that there's a plethora of variety that you can get that falls under this umbrella of meditation. And meditation from the mindfulness perspective is about practicing mindfulness. So it is, as Jean says, paying attention in the present moment, non-judgmentally. And the one other piece that I like to throw in there is on purpose. So we are intentionally being present here and now, observing what's going on, and what's the core cognitive benefit about it is that when you're paying attention to what's going on right here and now, it means that you're not paying attention to. You're not getting carried away. Maybe that's a better way. You're not getting unintentionally carried away by random thoughts. You're not daydreaming. I think that's something that can be confusing for a lot of people, is that I maybe just let my mind go free and relax, and that's meditation. And from that may be some kind of meditation, but what it's definitely not is mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation is a rigorous practice that involves intentionally bringing your attention to the present moment. And when we do bring the attention to the present moment, that means we're not wandering outwards to the future. We're not wandering backwards to the past, that we are here right now. And it's a skill that as we practice, we can become better at doing and better at bringing into our daily lives. And it's one of these skills as well. It's kind of like stretching, that the more often you do it, the easier it is to bring it into daily life. And if you stop doing it, you will very quickly get out of practice and start to lose that ability to drop into present moment awareness. And so this really is the motivation to practice. And you'll find that as you drop into the present moment, these worries and these worries that we have that are constantly driving us out of the present moment into the future, backwards into the past, start to disappear. And you'll find as you observe your mind as it wanders that your mind goes back to the same things very often and over again. And that this, I think one of the lies that we tell ourselves to justify our mind wandering, especially into stressful events, is that if I think about this stressful event enough, I'm going to come up with a solution to it. That if only I can continuously think about this thing that's making me feel anxious, I'll have been able to plan about all of the possibilities that could come with it, and I'll come up with a great solution to this problem that's making me anxious. Or backwards into the past, if I relive this situation that went badly over and over again, I will be more prepared for the future to handle this situation so that I don't make this same mistake again. And this is really, as I've been practicing mindfulness, I've found that, in fact, constantly reliving my mistakes and constantly being anxious and thinking about the future doesn't, in fact, give me the solution to these problems. And I'm not saying don't do any planning at all. Just plan with intention. When you're going to plan, set this aside as a time to plan. Don't just let the mind wander aimlessly around and constantly create stress out of nothing. And that's really what one of the big downsides of just letting the mind freely be anxious and be depressed is that your stress levels increase significantly, because the mind is such a powerful imagination machine. Is that as we relive these events in our minds, we're not just thinking about them cognitively, we're literally reliving them, and our bodies experience a significant percentage of the stress that we experienced when that event happened, or the simulated stress of the event of what could potentially be happening. And that, both of these are, both of these can be really unhealthy. And I think that's, maybe that's the real key to understanding why mindfulness practice is beneficial, is because of the stress that stress puts on our bodies. Stress puts our bodies in a state of unrest, right? Stress increases our heart rate. It releases stress hormones that get the body prepared for a literal physical threat. And I think that's something that's interesting as we human beings have, evolved this thing inside of our cranium, right? This great simulation machine. One of the unintended consequences and side effects of this is that we can become stressed about things that aren't real at all and haven't occurred and may never occur. So it's not imagining a forest to meet your dragon. That is something else, and not to say I haven't done that. Yeah, and Key says it's a bit like training the mind. It's an awful lot like training the mind. It certainly is training the mind. So, Alejandro, welcome. Great to see you here today. Welcome, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get into our practice. Our practice these days is the body scan practice. I'd like to give more of an intro to why body scan is kind of the foundational practice for mindfulness, and I think I'll probably do that next time. And let's get into our practice. So I'd encourage you to choose a posture that's supportive for you. And for me, I'm sitting up. I'm sitting straight and tall, using the straightness of my spine, of course, relaxed lower back. I'm just letting my body sit by its own strength. And so letting this help keep me wakeful here at 5:25 a.m. And maybe you would like to choose to lie down. And so especially if you haven't done mindfulness practice before, one of the gentlest ways to begin practice is to lie down. Of course, the danger, and I kind of put that in quotes, the danger of lying down is that you might fall asleep. And so, what's the danger of falling asleep is that you're not practicing mindfulness when you're sleeping, but you are getting rest. And maybe you're here today because that's what you want. You want to practice, you want to meditate so that you can finally get some well-deserved rest. And so let's bring our attention to our abdomens. Feeling the gentle movement of the abdomen with the breath. Expanding as we breathe in. Contracting as we breathe out. And so if you can really focus your attention, you won't miss a single moment of the feeling of breathing. And this helps to drop us into our present moment awareness. And now, whenever you're ready, releasing attention at the abdomen and guiding the attention down the left side of the body to the left hip, the left thigh, the left knee, the left shin, the left calf muscle, the left ankle, the top of the left foot, the sole of the left foot, and noticing the toes of the left foot. Is it possible to notice each of your toes? The big toe, the little toe, those other toes that are in between. And so now, can you expand your awareness to the entirety of the left leg? So re-including everything that we've just gone down through. So the foot includes the ankle and the heel. The lower leg also, besides the shin and the calf, there are sides. There's a knee in there. There are several large muscles that surround the thigh. And your entire leg has skin on the surface. Can you draw your attention fully into the experience of the physical sensations of the left leg? What is your left leg touching? What regions of the leg are not touching anything? And now on your next exhale, releasing the left leg from awareness and guiding attention to the right leg, observing the right thigh, the right knee, the right lower leg, the right ankle, the right heel, the top of the right foot, the sole of the right foot, and the toes of the right foot. The big toe, the little toe, and all the toes in between. And so seeing if you can expand, dilate that lens of awareness to include the entirety of the right leg, from hip to toes. And on your next exhale, releasing the right leg from awareness. As we guide attention into the trunk of the body, starting at the pelvis. So noticing the pelvic bone. Noticing the buttocks, which are in contact with some supporting surface. Can you observe that pressure of that contact? Observing the front side of the pelvis, the pelvic bowl region, the genital region, the anal region, and slowly finding the tailbone and moving upwards, noticing the muscles of the lower back. As we continue to climb the spine, noticing the mid-back where the ribs begin to appear out of the spine. The upper back, noticing the shoulder blades, and if you're lying down, you may notice the contact between the shoulder blades and whatever it is that you're lying on. And then to the front of the body, noticing the abdomen rising and falling again as you breathe. Feeling maybe your t-shirt on your skin, whatever clothing you're wearing, moving ever so slightly, brushing against the skin as you breathe in and breathe out. The rib cage, the chest, rising and falling as you breathe. Noticing the shoulders here as well. And so can you be aware of the entirety of the trunk of the body, from the perineum at the bottom all the way up to the shoulders at the top? And one thing that might be useful about focusing on the trunk of the body is that it is constantly moving, expanding and contracting as you breathe. So using these physical sensations to drop into present moment awareness. And on the next exhale, releasing the torso, the trunk of the body from awareness. And bringing awareness to the left arm, the upper arm, the elbow, the forearm, the wrist, the back of the hand, the palm of the hand, the thumb, and each of the fingers of the left hand. So allowing awareness to dwell there in the left arm. From the shoulder and the armpit all the way down to the fingers of the left hand. And on the next exhale, releasing the left arm from awareness and shifting attention to the right arm. Noticing the upper arm, the right elbow, the forearm, the right wrist, the back of the right hand, the palm of the right hand, the right thumb, and each of the fingers of the right hand. And so expanding that awareness from the tips of the fingers all the way up to the right shoulder and the right armpit. So everything in between as we focus our attention on the physical sensations in the right arm. And on the next exhale, releasing the right arm from awareness. And bringing attention into the neck, the throat, the larynx, feeling blood vessels moving blood to and from the head. Noticing the chin, the jaw, the lips, the teeth, the tongue, the inside of the mouth. The nose and the nostrils, feeling air moving through the nostrils as you breathe. The cheeks, the ears, the eyes and the muscles around the eyes. The eyebrows and the forehead. The temples, the scalp, the crown of the head, the back of the head. So holding now the entirety of the head and the neck in awareness. And now let's see if we can expand our awareness to the body as a whole. So including the trunk of the body and the torso, the arms, the legs, just experiencing what it's like to be here right now in this physical body. What does it feel like? What can you experience? So congratulations for making it through today's practice. Maybe take a moment to congratulate yourself for having done this and having made time to nourish yourself in this way. Knowing that this is a time to really take care of ourselves. A time to give ourselves some more energy. To help tune our minds to being more aware in each and every moment, and perhaps setting some intention to practice regularly so that we are more likely to be more skillful at staying present in each and every experience we have. And so now I'll close our practice with 3 rings of the bell. All right. Well done, everybody. Congratulations on making through our practice today. How'd it go? Key, thanks for sharing. A bit restless trying to find the right posture. And that's, that's okay. I think the more I practice, let me bring it tell you my experience is when I first started doing body scan, I found that I was incredibly restless as I started the practice. And after maybe a month of practicing every day, I started to be able to not make any movements. And so that was part of what I was hoping to get out of the practice, was to notice, first of all, that I guess that's the first thing I noticed, is that I am not still when I practice body scan. Was that I want to move around a lot. I'm shifting constantly to relieve the discomfort I might feel. And I think that somehow, almost as if by magic, I become more still as I practice more. So would encourage you to try it and to see what happens, and to see if maybe you're a restless person. I mean, I know that I have this, I used to shake my leg when I would sit down. I couldn't remain still, and I found that my mindfulness practice helped me just to be more still and calmer in my daily life. So see what happens. Experiment. Use today as the baseline and see 1 month later. Practice every day. And see if after 1 month, what has happened. Thanks for sharing, Key. Thank you, Tatiana, for being here. Thank you, Matt. Thanks, Natalie Gar. Jean says, I had one hand resting on a cat, the other on the sofa. Noticed how much warmer my left hand was, and the urge to roll up my right hand to make it warmer. Thanks, Jean. I usually do body scan lying down, says Key. Thought I'd sit on the ground for a change, so it was a new posture. It's easier being still lying down. And I think that's probably true because that's what you're used to. And me, I'm used to sitting. And so I can remain, not that this is the goal of meditation, to remain still for the entire time you're meditating, but in future episodes, we will talk about what benefit there may be from stillness and remaining still and silent during your meditation. Maybe still more important. Silent is the only thing we can control about silence is ourselves, right? So what's that mean? So you can meditate in any place, but there is something a little bit more helpful, especially as we begin our meditation practice, to silence, to being in a place that's quiet. What we'll be doing is more things around the body scan, a lot of really introductory kind of practices as we get started here in this new year. So, all right. Do take care, everyone. It is the 45-minute mark, so let us close our practice with some well wishes. And maybe that's something else to talk about in the future. Why close practice with well wishes? So we'll talk. We got a lot of great things to talk about as we come back to basics. So I look forward to sharing all of those with you, and of course, meditating together. So have a great Wednesday night or Thursday morning, wherever you happen to be, and I'll see you again very soon. So follow along if you like. Repeat after me. May I be happy and peaceful. May everyone watching, listening, wherever you are, I wish you all happiness and peace. And may all sentient life on this planet and throughout the universe, may we all be happy and peaceful. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Have a lovely day. See you soon. Bye-bye.